So before we start the video, I'd like to ask you guys to please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video, as it helps the channel grow. So, let's get into it. Alright, so week 1 of the NFL season has come to a close, and for the Chicago Bears, they take a much-deserved victory over the San Francisco 49ers in a game that was messy, brutal, and not a lot of offense was coming out of it. So, in this video, I'm going to recap what I saw during the game and give grades for defense, offense, special teams, and all that good stuff. So, without further ado, let's get into it. What's up, guys? KT here, back at another video. Today, we're doing the Bears. First recap video of the season, and I'm so happy because the Bears stole a victory over the San Francisco 49ers. I'm glad to be. It's good to be back. It's been a long time. Hopefully this season for the Bears goes better than last season, but I'm not going to hold y'all anymore. Let's get straight into the recap. Starting with the offense, Justin Fields, the man of the hour. His stats, it was okay. He was 8 for 17. He had 121 yards, 15 yards per throw, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 2 sacks, and had an 85% quarterback rating. Now, Justin Fields, I'm not going to hold y'all. In the first half, he looked terrible. Taking unnecessary sacks, holding the ball too long, missing easy progressions, rushing himself, and of course the horrible interception where he didn't see the San Francisco safety. So in the first half he was horrible. I think it was more of jitters on his side, because in the second half it was on. There was one play in the second half. It was a busted play. It was a play action rollout to the left. It got busted up. And Fields made a great, he improvised great on that play. And he came to the right. He went to the left, switched all the way back, and threw the ball over to the right side of the field to Dante Pettis. Equimimia St. Brown gets the block. Dante Pettis walks in for a touchdown. That changed the complete momentum of the game. From that point on, the Niners were uncomposed, and the Bears had all the momentum. Of course, they got into the red zone. The Bears then proceeded to get the ball back due to an interception. They got into the red zone. They scored again. And then the Niners turned it over on downs. And then the Bears scored again. And that's how we got to the 19-10 score at the end of the game. But overall, Justin Fields, he played okay. He wasn't great. He wasn't stellar. But he was good enough to get the win. And he outplayed Trey Lance in the second half. Rushing the ball, I'm going to keep it quick because there wasn't too much to talk about. Khalil Herbert, he had 9 attempts, 45 yards, 5 yards per carry, and 1 touchdown. Justin Fields, 11 carries, 28 yards, 2.5 yards per carry. David Montgomery, 17 carries, 26 yards, and 1.5 yards per carry. I'll say this. Khalil Herbert is perfect in the role he's in. He's running back 2 without question. David Montgomery is our bell cow back. I think Herbert is better in more, condensed situations since he can squeeze through them tackles. But overall, David Montgomery is our running back 1, and I think that's how the Bears like it. So, overall, not a good day for the rushing. It's kind of hard to run the ball against San Francisco. Receiving wasn't good at all. For the first half, we didn't have no completions to our receivers. I was kind of disappointed in the first half. I thought they would, open up the playbook a little bit more, scheme guys to get open. But I found myself really disappointed in the first half. But in the second half, kind of got a little bit better. Bryven Pringle, he came in, got some separation. Equimimia St. Brown played well. Dante Pettis finally was able to get a reception for a big touchdown. But overall, I'm not going to read y'all this because, overall, we didn't have no completions to our tight ends. So receiving was very, very bad. But with the weather the way it was and the torrential downpour, I'm not surprised. Hopefully they can, improve on that going into next week because we got the Packers next week. So, as far as defense, now, I'm just going to be honest with you. This defense played extremely well. In the first half, we could even muster enough yards to get first downs. We couldn't put together drives, but it always seemed like the defense came to play. They always got off the field, and they always tried to give us the ball back. They made Trey Lance's life hard, especially in the second half. I told y'all this. When you put the ball in Trey Lance's hands, and when you get pressure in his face, can he make those throws to be able to win the 49ers the game? And in the second half, he could not. Like I said in the video, the Niners had a weak interior offensive line, and it seemed like in the second half, the Bears were just generating pressure from the middle, and they started to get to Trey Lance. The secondary held up well. Surprisingly, the rookies played really well. Jaquan Brisker, he had a couple good tackles. Kyler Gordon played well in coverage and had good tackles. Roquan Smith, as always, had a great game. He had 9 total tackles, 7 solo tackles, and a sack. One guy that stood out on that defense, though, Dominic Robinson, the rookie from Miami, Ohio. I think that's where the college he came from. Don't quote me on that. He had 7 total tackles, 5 solo tackles. He had a tackle for loss, and he basically had 2 sacks. He was on Trey Lance all game. And, that's what really contributed to Trey Lance, being uncomfortable in the pocket, forcing throws in the coverage. Eddie Jackson got his signature interception, which really turned the tide of the game. So overall, defense played well. One thing I would like to see more of is just a little bit more blitzes thrown in. I still feel like we're being a little too conservative. Again, our pass rush was good enough this week in the interior, but against Aaron Rodgers next week, we're going to need to generate a lot of pressure to make him uncomfortable. So overall, I think the defense played pretty well. A lot of new faces on there. Another notable name, Armon Watts, he played well. He was able to generate pressure up the middle. So, I'm happy with how the defense played, and I'm excited to see them play next week against the Green Bay Packers. Special teams, this is only notable because Cairo Santos missed 2 crucial points, extra points, and that made the game a little bit more close than it had to be. Boneheaded plays by Dante Pettis on a punt that went in our own 5, and he didn't fair catch it, so that set us back. But overall, special teams didn't play all that well today. I say the one bright spot today was Tristan Ebner on kick return, and that's about it. So overall, the grades. Overall, we'll start with the offense. I'm going to give the offense probably a C+. They didn't play well enough to even get a B, even a C in the first half. But I felt like in the second half they got the rhythm. They were able to put some things together, and I felt like the coaching staff took the handcuffs off, and the offense played a lot better in that second half. However, 19 points is not enough to beat the top tier teams in the league. Defense gets an A. Period. They get an A. There were moments where where they gave up easy completions, but they always bared down in the red zone. They were able to get the Bears offense back on the field and able to force turnovers. They got 2 turnovers today. They punched the ball out, Deebo Samuel, and they got an interception. So defense played really, really well. I'm going to give them an A. Special teams, they're going to have to settle for a D. Cairo Santos, you got to start hitting your extra points. This is an anomaly for him since the weather was so bad here. I'm going to give him a pass, but in the future, he needs to hit his extra points so we don't have these close games like this. And for the coaching staff, I give the coaching maybe like a C+ or something. They weren't really good, in the first half. I felt like Getsy, he made adjustments in the second half, something we haven't seen here in a while, and he was able to adjust and make life easier for the Bears offense. Matt Eberflus's defense and Alan Williams' defense played well enough for me to give them a C+. So, but I still want to see more, and I still need to see more going into next week. So, yeah, that's all. We got the Packers next week on Sunday Night Football. I'm happy the Bears were able to steal this win against all odds. And, thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that notification bell. Leave your comment in the comment section as I will be reading them. Get ready for next Sunday. Bear down. I'm out, guys. Peace.